It's midnight in Berlin. A metal skewer starts spinning. Lamb and beef, stacked 2 feet high, slowly rotating over an open flame. Behind the counter, a Turkish family has been here since morning. They'll stay past midnight. No breaks, no weekends, no days off. Now zoom out. Walk across Germany. Berlin, Hamburg, Munich. Street corner after street corner. The same scene repeats. Same spinning skewer. Same flatbread. Same families. You've walked past this your whole life. But here's what most people never stop to notice. Over 1 billion doner kebabs are sold in Germany every year. More than burgers. More than pizza. An industry worth over 3 billion euros. Quietly built by one community.
This is a doner kebab, Berlin's most popular street food, and in my opinion, one of the greatest sandwiches I've ever eaten.
No global franchises, no corporate backing. Just Turkish entrepreneurs who turned a single street snack into the most eaten fast food in the country. And it didn't start with business, it started with survival. Because the people behind these counters didn't come to Germany with capital or connections. They came as guest workers, invited in to do the jobs no one else wanted, then told to go home when the work dried up. Most of them stayed. And from that reality came the most popular snack in Germany. But to understand how we got here, we have to go back to 1955, when West Germany was rebuilding. The war left factories empty, and construction sites stalled. Germany needed hands, fast. So the government did something unusual. It went looking for workers. Italy first, then Spain, Greece, and in 1961, Turkey. Thousands of young Turkish men packed what little they had and made the journey north. They filled the steel mills, the car factories, the construction sites, the jobs Germans didn't want. They were called Gastarbeiter, guest workers. The word says everything. Guest, temporary, here to work, then leave. But something the German government didn't plan for happened. People don't work like machines. They eat, they gather, they build lives. And slowly, Turkish communities began to form. The first one started in Berlin's Kreuzberg district, then spread outward. Cheap housing, familiar faces. A corner of Germany that felt, just slightly, like home. By 1972, Turks had become the largest immigrant group in the country, and nobody was paying attention. They went to jobs where they weren't seen. Their cuisine, their eating habits were not known in Germany at that time. That was about to change. Berlin, 1972. Bahnhof Zoo Station. A Turkish immigrant named Kadir Nurman is running a small food stall. Around him, the city moves fast. Workers rushing between shifts. No time to sit, no time to eat a full meal. Nurman watches this, and he sees something. Back in Turkey, doner was a sit-down dish. Meat shaved off a vertical spit, served on a plate with rice, maybe some grilled vegetables. A proper meal. Slow, ceremonial. But these workers didn't have time for that. So Nurman did something simple. Something that would change everything. He took the meat off the plate and put it in bread. That's it. That was the invention. Meat, bread, done in under a minute. It wasn't imported, it was reinvented, built specifically for a city that never slowed down. Turkish workers tried it first. It tasted like home. I mean, fast enough for Germany. Word spread quickly. Then the Germans started lining up too. And once Germans discovered it, the doner was no longer a migrant food. It was everybody's food. But here's where things get interesting. Because the doner didn't just become popular, it became dominant. And that didn't happen by accident. When the oil crisis hit in 1973, Germany's economy contracted sharply. Factories laid off workers. Turkish employees were let go first. And while many other immigrant groups packed up and went home, the Turkish community largely stayed. Life back in Turkey offered high inflation, unemployment, and political instability. Germany, even though difficult, was still better. So they adapted. Factory work was gone. Small business was the answer. And doner shops were the perfect entry point because it was cheap to open, simple to run, with a product people already loved. A shop didn't need much: a vertical spit, a supply of meat, bread from a local bakery, and family. That last part mattered most. Here's how the system worked. A newly arrived Turkish family with no savings and connections would find their way in through someone they already trusted: a cousin, a neighbor from the same village, someone already inside. They'd get a job in a doner shop, learn everything: how to season the meat, how to layer the spit, how to slice it thin, how to move fast during a lunch rush. After a few years, they'd open their own shop. The family who trained them would help, sometimes lending money, sometimes just passing along suppliers. No banks, no contracts, just trust. And when that new shop succeeded, it brought in another family, and another. Not competition, it's just pure coordination. What looked like thousands of separate small businesses was actually one of the most quietly powerful informal networks in modern Europe. By the 1980s, doner shops were spreading from Berlin outward to Hamburg, Munich, Cologne, and all the way into small towns. By the 1990s, the whole country had been covered. And the Turkish community wasn't just selling doner. They were building the entire infrastructure around it: meat processing facilities, commercial bakeries producing the pide bread at scale, distribution networks supplying hundreds of shops at once. The factories were largely Turkish-owned. The supply chain, quietly, belonged to them. So they didn't just sell kebabs. They controlled the inputs. Now, here's a question worth asking. Why couldn't anyone else take this? Big fast food chains tried. They saw the demand. They understood the numbers. But they couldn't replicate what made the doner network work. The Turkish shops ran on family labor. No external employees to pay. No corporate overheads. 18-hour days, 7 days a week. A price point that chains simply couldn't match. The product itself also resisted imitation. Authentic doner, which contains real veal or beef, layered by hand onto the spit, seasoned with family recipes passed down across generations, had a quality that factory shortcuts couldn't fake. Customers noticed. Late entrants faced something even harder to crack than a product. They faced a closed system. First movers already in every neighborhood. Suppliers already locked in. Customers already loyal. You can copy a sandwich. You can't copy a network built over 3 decades. And the doner kept evolving. The original was simple: shaved meat, onions, flatbread. But as German customers became regulars, the sandwich changed to meet them. Red cabbage, a German staple, found its way in. Garlic sauce, because Germans love garlic. Herb sauce, spicy sauce. Feta crumbled on top. The Turkish version of doner, back home, kept meat central. Minimal additions, nothing to distract from the flavor. The German version became something else entirely. A full meal in your hand. Meat, salad, sauce, bread, all of it together. Filling enough for a construction worker. Fast enough for a student between lectures. Cheap enough for a teenager with €5. Politicians ate it. CEOs ate it. Refugees ate it. There's even a saying in Germany, Döner macht schöner, which means that doner makes you better looking. It became Germany's great equalizer, the one food that cut across every class, every background, every neighborhood. But building that empire came at a cost that rarely gets talked about. In the early 1990s, reunification opened up an entire new market because millions of East Germans discovering doner for the first time. Angela Merkel, years before she became chancellor, spent her first Western marks on one. But the same period brought violence. Far-right attacks on Turkish businesses surged. In 1993, arsonists set fire to a Turkish family's home in Solingen. 5 people died. Researchers estimate that over 1,000 attacks on Turkish restaurants have taken place in Eastern Germany since reunification. The early 2000s brought another wave. Series of killings later traced to a neo-Nazi cell, which the press, without evidence, had linked to the Turkish community. They called them the Döner murders. And yet the industry kept growing. Shops kept opening. The network held. Today, around 18,000 doner shops operate across Germany. The industry moves roughly 550 tons of meat every day. No other fast food comes close. Not McDonald's, not KFC, not pizza chains or burger franchises. A product invented at a street stall in 1972 now outsells all of them. Berlin has become, as one food historian put it, the doner kebab metropolis of the world. German-style doner shops have opened in New York, London, Dubai. There's a shop in Adana, Turkey that specifically sells the Berlin version because people there love doner German style. The dish left Turkey on a plate. It came back as a sandwich. And it conquered the world in between. But here's the real question no one's asking yet. What happens next? The generation that built this, the Gastarbeiter and their children, the ones who worked the grill from 3 a.m. to midnight, their kids want different things. Professional careers, degrees, jobs that don't smell like grilled meat at the end of the day. At the same time, new immigrant communities are arriving. Arab-owned shawarma shops are opening across German cities. The market is shifting. The next wave is already here.